Darvin Ham not calling timeouts when it matters, not doing a challenge when he needs to do a challenge that will get his guys rest. Even if you lose that challenge, like LeBron on Jamal Murray at the end of the game, even if you lose it, your guys would have gotten a bunch of rest just from the challenge process. There's no excuse. You could argue that Austin shouldn't have leaned on a three and should have gathered, and that D'Lo made a bad pass here or there. But without D'Lo's 23 points, you're not in the game anyway. AD has the game of his life. You have him sitting on the bench for way too long. Sometimes, when you're in foul trouble, you just have to play. And if you foul out, you foul out. And that's just the situation the Lakers have put themselves in against Denver, right? So AD, with the game he was having, I would have put him in there and said, hey, I trust you to not foul out of this game. With 10 minutes left, instead of going all the way down to when it's 7, you've lost the lead. Darvin Ham is the reason the Lakers lost this game. You fire him before you get back on the plane. Why? Because it might galvanize the team to have a little bit more confidence in what's going on going in. If they don't fire Darvin Ham, they're going to get swept. They will get swept if they do not fire him. I know it's unorthodox to fire a guy before he gets back on the plane, but the Lakers had no business losing this game. They had no business losing this game. Yes, all credit to Denver. They took advantage of all the Lakers' horrible mistakes, but most of those were coaching. Most of this stuff could have been prevented. Why do the guys look so gassed? Because you're holding on to timeouts. You're not using challenges. You're not understanding situational basketball. Darvin Ham is not an NBA head coach. He's proven it over and over and over again. He played 3-guard lineups all the way in many situations where they don't match up with the guys that are bigger than them that can roll. Like, why would you play 3-guard lineups unless Gabe and Spencer are like hot from the perimeter or something? Then you can go, okay, at least they're hot, so whatever, they're neutralizing whatever the other guys are doing with their size advantage. But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why are you playing 3-guard lineups? Why aren't you using timeouts? Why aren't you using challenges? Why aren't you doing anything to help stem the tide of that game? There is no excuse. Rob Pelinka should not let Darvin Ham get back on that team plane other than to drop him off at his fucking house in LA when they get back. There is no reason for that. Darvin Ham is not the coach of the Lakers after this series. Whether it goes on for 4 or 5 games or whatever the case may be, but if they want any chance, they should fire him right now, because maybe that will be a galvanizing factor for Lakers. And if not, you're going to get swept anyway. And either way, at least give Phil Handy a shot to see if he can make any adjustments. Darvin Ham's not the guy. What more do you need to see? What more do you need to see to know that Darvin Ham is not the right coach of the Lakers? You're not going to. Why would you hold on to timeouts? Why would you not use challenges? Why would you keep AD out of the game for as long as you did when they're clearly struggling, when LeBron is clearly gassed? Like, there is no excuse for what just happened in that game. The Lakers have no reason to lose that game except bad coaching. They had plenty going on down the stretch. What are you going to get better than a 23-point game from D'Lo? You're going to get the game of AD's life until you take him out and don't let him play anymore because he has 4 fouls. Who cares? Put him in the game. If he fouls out, he fouls out. You have to trust your player to not foul out of that game. You have to go, AD, you have 4 fouls. You can get 1 more. If you get 2 more, you're gone, right? But we can't have you out of the game because we have nobody that can play and replace you. We have nobody else to put on Joker that can do anything. So you have to play. Like, you have to play. And you have to go in there and say, that's what needs to happen here. Darvin Ham's lack of timeouts, his lack of the 3-guard lineup. What are you doing? Denver's the biggest team in the league. Everybody on their starting lineup is 6'10" except for Jamal Murray. Dude, even KCP plays much bigger than he's like 6'5", but he's got huge long arms and he's a skinny, lanky dude that plays more like he's 6'8". Like, what are you doing? You cannot play like that. All the things the Lakers did to keep the lead, fuck it. Let's just hold on for dear life and hope for the best at the end of the game. If I don't do anything, maybe LeBron will just take it home. Well, LeBron can't do that if he's so exhausted from carrying the team down the stretch and has no help from you. You have to call a timeout to get him extra rest. You have to use a challenge, even if you lose it, for the process of the challenge to allow your team to get some rest. You have to be smart about what you're doing. And Malone keeps out-coaching you, even though in this game the Lakers outplayed the Nuggets in almost every way, and you still lose because of the lack of coaching, the lack of understanding of game situations and what needs to happen in order to help your team gather themselves in that moment. Darvin Ham should be fired before he gets on the freaking plane. I wouldn't even let him do a press conference. I'd be like, get the hell out of here right now. Like, you just cost us this game for no reason. And if the Lakers had won that game and held on, they're 1-1 going back to LA with 2 games. Like, there's no reason that had to happen. Why are you down in this series now 2-0? There's no reason for it. Darvin, there is no reason for it. And you could argue in the first game, after you didn't make any adjustments, when they started making a run in the third quarter, that you should have been gone then. How are you allowing Darvin Ham to continue to coach this team? There is no excuse for this game. Yes, certain players could have done things at certain times that could have mattered, but this game came straight down to bad coaching, decisional, non-facting nonsense, not reacting to what is actually going on in the game and going, we're just going to do this and we're just going to do that and it's whatever and that's the way I like it, that's the way I coach and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, go coach somewhere else. Go coach in Division 3 or somewhere where you just have the most talent because of recruiting. You're 3 guys deep with great recruits at every position. The Lakers have got to fire Darvin Ham right now. Straight up and down. Darvin Ham has got to go. He cannot be the coach when they get back to LA because they will get swept. He has no idea how to coach. And against Denver, there's going to be times they make runs. You're going to have to use your timeouts. You're going to have to get creative with substitution patterns. And I don't mean by putting all guards in. That's not going to help. Like, you have got to use these guys. Why is Rui not touching the ball so that he's not in rhythm by the end of the game? He had a wide open 3, and you know why he clanked it? Is because he hadn't touched the ball the entire game. I know he's got a tough assignment on Joker a lot of the game, which you could argue whether or not that's good coaching, honestly, right there. But the Lakers have to do what they have to do to try to halt Jokic. But the fact of the matter, the point blank, period, end of discussion fact here is that Darvin Ham is not the coach of the Lakers. Whether it's right now, and I think they should do it now because it might galvanize Phil Handy to do something different and to allow and get with LeBron and go, hey, what are your ideas? What can we do? You've come back in series before. What can we do here? And I don't think Darvin is either listening or caring or something, or he already knows that, he's on hot jobs by the end of the week anyway. Because that's what's going to happen if he coaches the next 2 games. They're going to get swept, and he's going to be gone either way. Even if they somehow eke out a game in LA, you're at home. You should win both games, right? And the fact that you're already doubting whether or not they can shows you that Darvin Ham's not the right coach for this team. He's just not. I like Darvin as a guy. He seems real nice. He says real cool things sometimes. All his press conferences are kind of the same, but it's whatever. Who cares? What you say to the public isn't what matters. It's how you coach the team and how you strategize in private and how that displays on the floor. That's what matters. And those are the factors that he does not have. I don't care how nice he is. I don't care how good of a guy he is and how encouraging he is and how whatever he is. He's not the right coach. He's not the right coach. Darvin Ham has got to go. And it's not about blame. It's about the fact that he's the coach and he's not doing his job. Straight up and down, he is not doing his job. Darvin Ham should not even get on the plane. He should not be allowed on the plane tonight to go back to LA unless it's just to drop him off. Like, there is no excuse for what just happened in that game. Darvin Ham has got to go right now. Now. Go watch the game.